The Corvani Empire had ruled the Andromeda sector for 3 millennia. Their crimson warships swept across star systems like blood through arteries, and their armies moved with the precision of clockwork death. They had never known defeat until they awakened the Veltaroth. Commander Zexai stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching through the viewport as his ground forces retreated in chaos from the planet below. The thing that had emerged from the ancient ruins wasn't supposed to exist. The archaeological team had dismissed the warnings carved into every surface of the burial chamber as primitive superstition. They were wrong. "Report," Zexai demanded, his forearms rigid with tension. "The creature has destroyed the 47th Legion, sir," his tactical officer replied, mandibles clicking nervously. It's impossible. Our plasma cannons barely scratched its hide. Our shield generators couldn't contain it. The beast is 300 meters tall and moves faster than our interceptors." Through the tactical display, Zexai watched the Veltaroth tear through another battalion. The creature was a nightmare given form. Part dragon, part living shadow with eyes like dying stars and claws that could rend reality itself. Ancient texts had called it the Devourer of Worlds, but the Corvani had thought such descriptions were metaphorical. "Sir," communications crackled, "we're receiving a transmission from the human vessel." Zexai's blood ran cold. The humans. That pathetic species had been enslaved by the Empire for 2 centuries, used as laborers and servants. A single human ship had followed the Corvani fleet, probably carrying some maintenance crew or translators. He had barely registered their presence. "On screen," he commanded. The hologram materialized, showing a human female with graying hair and calm brown eyes. She wore simple clothes, not even a uniform. Behind her stood others of her kind, elderly, unremarkable, forgotten. "I am Dr. Sarah Chen," she said in perfect Corvani. "We need to talk." "Human," Zexai spat. "Your species' translation services are not required. We face a military crisis." Dr. Chen smiled sadly. "Commander, that's exactly why you need us. You've awakened something you don't understand. Your soldiers are dying because you treat every problem like a nail that needs hammering." On the planet below, the Veltaroth let out a roar that shattered mountains. The creature's rampage had entered its 2nd hour, and nothing the Corvani threw at it made any difference. Orbital bombardment only seemed to make it angrier. "What could your species possibly know about this creature?" Zexai demanded. "Everything," Dr. Chen replied quietly. "We've been studying your archaeological reports for months. The Veltaroth isn't just a monster, Commander. It's a guardian, bound by ancient laws your people never bothered to understand. You see weapons and conquest. We see patterns and purpose." Zexai was about to cut the transmission when another report reached him. The Veltaroth had destroyed his remaining ground forces, and was now turning its attention skyward. The creature's eyes began to glow and energy gathered around its maw. "It's preparing to fire at the fleet," his tactical officer screamed. "Human," Zexai said desperately. "If you know something, speak." Dr. Chen's image flickered as the ship's systems strained. "Beam us down, Commander. Not to the battle zone, to the ruins where this started. That's suicide." "Is it more suicidal than losing your entire fleet?" Zexai looked at his tactical display. 3 ships were already badly damaged, and the Veltaroth's attack would likely destroy them all. Against his better judgment, he gave the order. Minutes later, Dr. Chen and 5 other humans materialized near the excavation site. The ancient burial chamber yawned before them, its walls covered in hieroglyphs that seemed to writhe in the dim light. The humans moved with purpose as if they belonged there. The inscriptions, Dr. Chen explained over her comm unit. "They're not warnings about the Veltaroth. They're instructions. The creature isn't evil, Commander. It's in pain." She approached the central altar where Corvani archaeologists had torn away protective seals and stolen sacred artifacts. Her weathered hands traced the ancient symbols, and she began to read words in a language that predated the Corvani Empire. "The Veltaroth was once a protector," she continued, "bound to guard this world by beings who understood that some things must be preserved, not conquered. When your people desecrated this place, you broke those bindings and left it without purpose. It rages because it has forgotten what it was meant to protect." Above them, the creature's roar shook the ground. Its massive form was visible even from the ruins, a towering shadow against the burning sky. Dr. Chen closed her eyes and spoke in the ancient tongue, her voice carrying clearly across the chamber. She spoke of guardianship and purpose, of protection and peace. The words seemed to resonate with the stone itself. Then impossibly she called the creature by its true name. The effect was immediate. The Veltaroth's roar shifted, becoming something like a question. Its massive head turned toward the ruins, and for the first time in hours it stopped moving. Dr. Chen stepped out of the chamber and into the creature's line of sight. She was tiny compared to the beast, a gray-haired human facing down a living mountain. But she showed no fear as she continued speaking in the ancient language, her words carrying across the devastated landscape. The Veltaroth lowered its great head, listening. Then slowly, impossibly, the creature that had devoured armies lay down. "How?" HFY whispered over the comm. Dr. Chen smiled as she gently placed her hand on the beast's massive snout. "Because humans remember what others forget, Commander. We preserve stories, even the ones that seem unimportant. We know that every creature, no matter how terrible, was once something else. The Veltaroth's name means gentle guardian in the old tongue. It just needed someone to remind it who it really was." The creature's eyes closed, and for the first time in millennia, the Veltaroth slept peacefully. Later, as the Corvani fleet prepared to leave, HFY found himself staring at the small human vessel. His empire had ruled through strength and conquest, but a single human had accomplished what his entire military could not. Perhaps, he thought, there was more to power than weapons and fear. Perhaps the humans understood something the Corvani had forgotten, that sometimes the greatest strength lay not in the ability to destroy, but in the wisdom to remember what had been lost. As they departed, Dr. Chen remained behind with a small team, working to restore the ancient protections and ensure the Veltaroth could fulfill its true purpose once again. The guardian of an ancient world had found peace, thanks to a species that never forgot the importance of a name.